WIBTAH if I told my friend his online bully is his girlfriend? Plus update. I 30F know a couple, let's call them Blair 28F and Ben 30M. I've known both of them separately before they met and started dating. They were in love pretty fast and became a couple. We always thought they were perfect for each other. Both attractive, fun, energetic people who were crazy about each other and also great friends to the rest of us. Important note. We are all from different countries living as expats in a country. So after a while Ben had some family problems back home which required him to fly back to be with his family. But this would be temporary. Blair has always been great, supportive and understanding towards Ben. He would always go around saying how happy he was and how proud he was of his relationship. I met Blair recently for a little girls' outing. It's been about 5-6 months since Ben left. After a few drinks, she told me that she had made a fake IG account to test her boyfriend. I thought it was weird, but I didn't say much. She said he didn't reply and blocked the fake account, which should have been the end of her test in my opinion. But she continued to tell me that she used another fake account to add him and call him names like ugly, good for nothing, etc., etc., pretty bad stuff. I was flabbergasted and could not believe WF was happening. I asked her why on earth she'd do such a thing. Her explanation was that she is the best girlfriend he can have, and she just wanted to remind him how great she is so he can appreciate her more. She wanted to show him how horrible the dating pool is and he should hold on to her tight. I told her this was insane and she needs to stop. But she continued to tell me no, and this is nothing harmful. Ben had told me about a fake account messaging him, but I didn't know it was her. Ben assumed it was his ex who was proven to be a stalking weirdo, but now I know it's not her. It's actually his loving girlfriend. I told Blair she needs to stop and I would love to help her work on the issues that make her act like this. I tried to explain how this will eventually ruin her relationship and Ben's confidence as well. But she is not listening. So I told her if she didn't stop I would go ahead and tell Ben everything. I have screenshots of us discussing this matter over texts. How she's not willing to stop. Would I be the if I told Ben everything? My boyfriend says Ben needs to know and I totally agree cause nobody deserves to be treated this way. But some of my friends back home told me to not tell him but instead convince her to come clean, which I've been trying but to no avail. Edit. This has been a shocking event for me. We all thought she was a great person all this time. Never even crossed our minds that she'd even think such things let alone act on them. It hasn't been very long since I found out about this. About a week or less. I waited this long to give her the chance to come clean on her own and figure out a way to break it to Ben gently. If the roles were reversed, I'd still give a man the same chance. Which isn't really my point of posting this, but I appreciate the comments and wanted to clarify my position in this. Thanks to your encouragement, I feel much more confident in telling him everything and possibly facing her later. My BF and I messaged Ben and arranged a video call, so we will tell him everything soon with the evidence. I will post an update. Thank you all so much. Relevant comments. You challenged her on it. What exactly did she say to that? Upset. When I said if she didn't stop I would tell Ben, she just stared at me and asked why. At this point I'm convinced that she is so far off the grid that she can't even see what's wrong with what she is doing. I told her it was absolutely insane and argued for about an hour and she kept saying but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a fake account while laughing. After that night, which was about a week ago, I've been pestering her with my texts and telling her if she doesn't stop and come clean I'll tell Ben. She turned on me and messaged my boyfriend something like cop wants to talk to Ben. Can you keep her out of my relationship? But my BF already knows everything. This whole thing made me think that once challenged she will turn on anyone. Sim. Update. After about 5-6 hours of my post, we had a phone call with Ben. My boyfriend was there with me to break the news to him. First, I asked Ben whether the fake accounts were still messaging him or not. He said no, not for a week or so. Then I told him that the messages were being sent by Blair and she told me this herself. He didn't understand at all. I told him everything. The girls' night out Blair and I had. How she told me what she was doing and why. How I asked her to stop but she didn't see the point, etc., etc. As I was explaining, I saw my friend Ben losing the spark in his eyes and I saw the devastation settle in. The horror was real for him. Then when I was done telling him everything, there was a moment of silence. My boyfriend told him if he needed or wanted for us to help him in any way, we would be more than happy. He thanked us for telling him everything and wanted us to keep this a secret from Blair. He didn't want her to know that he now knew everything. He said he needed some time to figure stuff out since it's all a big shock now. I sent him whatever evidence I had and we ended the call. We didn't hear from Ben again for a couple of days. One night he called my BF to ask his help with retrieving a box from his and Blair's apartment. He said Blair would be home to let us in and we can take the box after checking the contents of it. He gave us a list of all the things that should be in the box. When we arrived, Blair was there with the box, but she seemed off. I asked her how she was doing and she said not very well cause the antidepressants were weighing on her. She self-diagnosed and started taking unprescribed illegally obtained antidepressants. I said antidepressants could be dangerous to take on your own due to side effects and she really should ask a doctor before taking them. She brushed me off, gave us the box and shut the door on us. We called Ben and told him the box was with us and asked if he wanted us to send it to him. He said to just keep it safe until he was back. He came back to the country 3 days ago. He went to see Blair and they had a huge falling out. He confronted her with everything I gave him and she said it was his fault for being absent. Ben said he would be willing to try to understand and help her if she didn't blame him. After all, it's not his fault that his father is dying and he has to be there for his family. He came to fix things, but her reaction blew up everything. He took the remaining belongings and left the house. He's now staying in our spare bedroom. The man is devastated. In the past 2 days, Blair has been blowing up social media with lies, posting things about how Ben cheated on her while he was supposed to be helping his family, saying he's always been 1 foot out the door and she is better off without him. She should have never lowered her standards for him, etc., etc. Ben is not a social media person, so he just deactivated his accounts and is now trying to heal. She's called me to curse at me multiple times. We now all blocked her number and her socials. Ben will be staying here with us until he flies back home in the upcoming weeks. I tried to help both of my friends and now I'm helping my only friend in this situation. I texted Blair's cousin to let her know that she's taking unprescribed antidepressants, acting erratic and should see a doctor, and that was it. I don't like this at all. I don't want to be in the middle of all of this. But Ben needed to know the truth. For Ben, he still feels betrayed and shocked. But he also feels that it was for the best that this would come to an end since he cannot trust her anymore. I guess this is the end of my updated. The relationship ended. The friendship ended. We don't know what she plans to do next. Up also gave some info in the comments. I asked Ben if he wanted us to post online about her insane lies and he said not just yet. Some of his friends are collecting some more evidence from her posts and from the abusive texts she sent. I think there will be a public post online with the evidence once they have enough. Also, I saw some screenshots of her posts via mutual friends and seems like the comments section isn't going as well as Blair expected. People are questioning her and asking her for evidence which she does not have. I got a couple people commenting on her posts saying she's lying and she was bullying Ben. She's bitter and called me a bunch of names for ruining her relationship. Most of our mutual friends know the story now cause they called us and Ben. Also, last night Ben, my boyfriend and I went out for some drinks and saw many of our friends. So on most ends, her posts are being perceived as a bitter reaction to her losing in her own little game.